Hello, hello Bakishtu. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well today. Thanks. Yeah, it is evening time here. So yeah, we're back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. And we just met with Mr. Vigil. But yeah, so what now? What's gonna happen now? Because we can be pretty sure that he didn't kill Gregson. And I'm gonna stick with my story because I don't think Barak has it in him to kill someone, even if they suspect him to be a murderer. So, who could that be then? Who could be the culprits? I don't know. Not too bad. I have a bit of a cold. I want to get tested, but I have the results tomorrow, most likely. Okay. So you're doing a PCR test? Okay. You know what? By the way, I was thinking about you because, you know, I don't know if you know, I'm playing Apex Legends quite regularly, and the new legend, she's a Kiwi. Kinda funny. Yeah, a shotgun wielding New Zealander. I don't know if that's a common occurrence, but there you are. Oh yeah. Oh, come on, let's get this game. Oh, okay. 2nd of November, 3:38 p.m. Sholmes' suite. Oh, I still can't. Oh, I still can't quite believe what just happened. Oh, I know. I inquired with the bailiff after the court session was adjourned, and it seems Mr. Vigil was taken to hospital to recover. Oh dear. Oh yeah. I hope he's okay. Right. $10 years ago now. What? Oh, 10 years ago now. Oh, Mr. Vigil attempted to commit suicide by jumping out of the... Wait, what? We didn't know. Well, it wasn't clear at all. But now I remember the images, and yeah. Ah, that's why he didn't remember. Mr. Vigil attempted to commit suicide by jumping out of the window of the prison governor's office. Oh dear. But ever since then, he's completely blocked the memory of those events from his mind. Nobody knew his secret. Not his family, not even the man himself. But I forced it out into the open. Was it wrong of me to do that? Did I overstep the mark? I wonder. Bruno! Oh, Iris. Oh, you were miles away. Anyway, I've brewed a fresh pot of soothing tea for you. Oh, thank you. Oh, you and Susie have had an exhausting day so far, haven't you? Oh, oh, thank you, Iris. How thoughtful of you. Oh, do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is? Could we get some soothing tea to Vigil? Oh yeah, I think he liked that. When we came out of the courtroom back into the defendant's antechamber, he disappeared. Oh, no, I don't know. He just suddenly sprang to his feet and left. All he said was, "I must leave." Okay. Oh, I wonder if he's pursuing the mystery of Inspector Gregson's death. Well, you know what Hurley's always saying, don't you? There are mysteries in this world that should perhaps never be solved. For the construction of a solution comes only at the expense of the destruction of something else. Oh dear. Was he talking about what we just did? What does that mean? Oh, he knows very well that when you open someone else's old wounds, you often open your own too. But he just can't take his own advice and leave well alone. Solving mysteries is too important to him. Oh, that's so true. Oh, but that's what I like about Harry after all. Oh, I suppose that's a lot of a great detective in some ways. So then, let's have tea, and then I'll give you a hand. Okay. Oh, do you have time, Iris? Yes, I finished this month's manuscript at last, with barely a day to spare before the deadline. Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. A brand new story to read in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Alright. You know, I always hide Hurley's filing in the days before I have a deadline. You do? Oh, poor Mr. Holmes. Oh, I'm sure that's very wise, Iris. How sensible of you. Now then, my dear fellows, let's make a plan of action before we continue our investigation. Okay. This morning's trial. So, how did it go in court this morning? Well, we still don't know the truth about what really happened, but one thing is increasingly clear. Lord Van Zeeks definitely didn't do it. Oh, goody! Oh yes, that's right. We managed to uncover several new facts as well. Oh, really? And there was another development too. Kazuma. Yeah, it's quite clear now. That Kazuma-sama is not himself. Oh, the way he's acting, it's almost as if he's possessed. I know. I mean, at the end of the proceedings earlier, it was like a bloodhound, the way he was chasing down Mr. Vigil's forgotten past. Oh, it's not normally so mercilessly persistent. Oh, what's going on in his head? I wonder. I really need to sit down with Kazuma and try to understand what he's going through. Ripper's innocence. If Gregson was really murdered the day before his body was discovered, then Lord Van Zeeks has to be innocent, you see. What? The day before? Well, that should be easy enough to work out, just by examining the corpse, Shirley. Oh yes, you would expect so, but curiously, no time of death was included in the autopsy report. That is curious. There are still unanswered questions, about Lord Van Zieks, though, aren't there? Oh, do you mean... I mean, what was it doing there on Fresno Street that day in the first place? Oh well, according to the man's testimony, he said he was investigating Inspector Gregson, didn't he? And it turns out that little room was actually the inspector's secret office. Oh, that sounds like it has all the makings of a wonderfully devilish plot. But then, why was that notice board in there, covered in all those particular papers? Papers about cases with a link to the Reaper. I'm starting to get a bad feeling about all this. Oh dear, that sounds more like something horribly devilish. Oh, we must start by looking into Inspector Gregson's movements of late. Gregson's movements? I never imagined I might have to be investigating an inspector's movements. Oh well, according to the entry in his diary, he was carrying out an incognito investigation of the Red-Headed League the day before his death. Oh, you mean he was doing the same as Hurley? Well, Mr. Sholmes was trying to reply, whereas the inspector was supposed to be investigating. Oh, I do wish it had been the other way around. Guess I never meet your heroes. Well, anyway, as it turns out, the inspector who went to investigate the Red-Headed League that day wasn't actually Gregson at all. It was Mr. Vigil, in possession of Gregson's identification. You know what that sounds like to me? Establishing an alibi. Oh dear. That's true. Oh my. Yes, you're absolutely right, Iris. But why would Gregson need an alibi? Alibi. Well, it would appear that the inspector has something to do that he wished to keep secret. Oh, I don't believe it. I always thought he was just a harmless lover of fish and chips. But perhaps they were seasoned with something a little more potent than salt and vinegar. Oh, I think perhaps we should try to move away from food analogies. Okay. Well, anyway, if Lord Van Zieks felt the need to investigate Gregson... Oh yes, I agree. We must try to find out what he knows. Alright, it's a Fisher's condition. Fisher, you say? Isn't that the name of the lady who came to visit Hurley yesterday? Oh, that's right. To ask Mrs. Sholmes if he would help her to find her missing husband. Only Mr. Sholmes completely passed the buck on us. To us. Fish and chips? Fish? Is that it? Fish and chips? Fish? Is it even more fish? Fish and chips? I don't know. I was watching a video about the Irish accent, and apparently the I is pronounced oi. Like that. Like that. Fish and chips. Oh, gotta have myself some fish and chips. I don't know, it sounds like some Belgian accent. Depends where. Oh yeah, well, yeah. you know, big country. Irish. They don't roll the R's over there. That's more Scottish, really. Well, actually, didn't you say that Mr. Fisher had been taken to hospital? Do you know which one? Ah, we know which one. Pretty sure. Ah, it's St. Sinners. Of course it is. I'm starting to wonder if all the other hospitals in London have closed down. Ah, yeah, that's a good question. Oh, that's amazing, Bruno. You found the lady's husband already? Well, I suppose I have, by accident. Oh, and 10 years ago, while Mr. Fitchett was a chief warder at the prison, he was responsible for overseeing the professor's incarceration. No. So when the convict escaped, he was held responsible and immediately dismissed. Oh, sometimes I really don't want to grow up. There's more. For 10 years after that, when he was ostensibly working as a peddler, he also had another secret job. He was paid by Gregson to be his stand-in to impersonate the inspector. Oh, to impersonate Gregson? But why? I have absolutely no idea. Jeannie was right. I'm starting to think all adults are up to no good now. Including you, Bruno. Wait, what did I do? I haven't paid anyone to impersonate me. Oh, that means he has ties to the professor and to Inspector Gregson, though. Wait, how old is Ryunosuke? I thought he was a teenager. I don't remember. That means he has ties to the professor and to Inspector Gregson, though. Oh, so I do think we ought to pay a visit to Mr. Fitchell, don't you? Oh, back to St. Sinners then. Oh, what? Oh, well, I think it's clear that what you need to do, isn't it? You're an adult? Really? Oh, I don't remember. Let us investigate, my dear fellows. Oh, Iris, you're even more enthusiastic than usual today. Oh, if anyone has anything to hide, my special Wilson shooting iron will soon set them straight. Shooting iron? Oh, it's not a gun. Water pistol? Oh, it's stuffed full of a piping hot extra special. Oh, it's stuffed full of a piping hot extra special blend of mine. Oh, then I'm quite sure it will be very effective. Oh, I'd better be careful not to hide anything. Well, it feels a little strange that Mr. Sholmes is nowhere to be seen, but still. Let's go and see what we can find out. Yes. Alright, let's go then. So we need to go see Lord Van Zeeks. Is it soothing tea? Oh yeah, very spicy soothing tea. 2nd of November, local prison, cell 1. Is he still reading that letter? Lord Van Zieks is reading. Look. Oh, he doesn't seem like he wants visitors, does he? Oh, but he must have noticed that we're here, surely. I think he's trying to ignore us. There's nothing else to do. Oh, yeah. What do you Nipponese want? That's no way to read a lawyer who's trying to his hardest to prove your innocence, is it? Perhaps not. Huh? I apologize. So what can I do for you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, Lord Van Zieks. Speaking earnestly. Oh, the fog will lift over London for the first time in months now. Tomorrow, sorry. Oh, this does feel very, very strange. I must say, I was impressed. Oh, well, thank you. Not by you, by your fellow Nipponese. Your prosecutor friend. Okay, then not thank you? Oh, I see. Yes. It's sardonic, don't you think? For a man such as me, so loathing of the Nipponese, to be entirely at the mercy of the two of you. I suppose it's retribution for having played the part of the Reaper all these years. Played the part? The Reaper's identity. You once told me that you gladly allowed people to believe you were the Reaper, because it helped reduce the amount of serious crime that took place in London. If keeping quiet and playing the part benefits the cause, a cause I, myself, am committed to pursuing, then why would I choose to say anything? But the henchman of a criminal killed by the Reaper attacked you only the other day. And that was just the most recent of many attempts on your life, wasn't it? Someone is clearly profiting from your silence about all this. Someone is using you. Believe me, ever since the Reaper first appeared, I've been doing my utmost to expose him. Or rather, expose the organization. Wait, what? Oh, it's a whole organization? It's inconceivable that all those accidents were orchestrated by one man. No, the Reaper always appears to have very accurate information about the accused in each case, which can only mean that somebody at Scotland Yard is involved. Oh, someone that... You can't mean... The Reaper is Gregson. I don't know. Could he be? Would he kill people? I don't know. I mean, he could be, but I'd be surprised. But then who else? It's not gonna be Sholmes, I mean. And we don't know anybody else at the police. Scotland Yard, so the coroner? No. Oh. I don't know. Then maybe he didn't kill the professor. It's kind of weird, because if you consider the fact that the professor was killed by the Reaper back then, what would the point? I mean, he would have been. I mean, if it can't be Scythe, because what would be the point of making the man avoid his sentence to just kill him just right afterwards? That it would make no sense, because the Reaper doesn't act for vengeance. It's just for some kind of sense of justice, if you can call it that. So I don't know. I think the only one who would have, well, the only person we know of that would have a motive to want to kill the professor themselves is Lord Van Zeeks. So I don't know. Because I don't think it's going to be Professor Mikotoba. And not the judge. Judge Jikoku. I don't know. I don't think. Anyway. It's taken me many years, but I finally identified the central figure in this Reaper organization. Tobias Gregson. What? No. No! Gregson? The Reaper? Gregson's secret. So, the reason you are investigating Inspector Gregson is because he has to say that from behind his fingers. Yeah, for dramatic effect. You intended to expose him at the Reaper. As I said, the Reaper at the Bailey is no single person. It's a highly secret organization with close ties to Scotland Yard. But there's no doubt that Gregson was a key member of that organization. Organization? Wait, organization? Yeah, that sounds pretty right. Key member of that organization. Oh, I don't believe it. Are you saying that Greg say that he was behind all those awful criminals meeting there? Gregson didn't do the dirty work himself. Oh. He was the tactician. His job was to covertly investigate the marks and plot their assassinations. In order to do that without arousing suspicion, he regularly needed a firm alibi. Oh, which is where Mr. Richard came in, posing as the inspector. Vigil knows nothing of the Reaper, but the room he rents on Fresno Street was almost certainly the headquarters of the operation. Gregson would have met the assassin there for briefings. So, we don't actually know who carried out the killings then. Actually, I do have a name. What? You what? Oh well, if you can name the man, you have the true identity of the Reaper already then. Or if I can name the woman. Oh, she's a young woman by the name of Assassin. Assassin, really? Really? Sounds like a phone prank. But alright. Wait, what? Shin? Wait, we know this name. Don't we? Oh yeah. It's Asa Shin. The true name of a terrifying killer I know only too well. She came to Japan posing as a visiting student and murdered Dr. John H. Wilson. Wait, what did they do? Is it because of the case of the Hound of the Baskervilles? Then, just when it seemed that diplomatic protection would help her escape Japan and conviction, the mysterious woman was herself murdered in a small summer beach hut. And that woman was actually the Reaper of the Bailey? Why is she smiling? She's dead. Oh, Naruto-san. This perhaps isn't the place to discuss. No, no, of course not. Oh, we can't mention it here. The fact that she killed Dr. John H. Wilson. To be fair, not many of the characters' names aren't worthy of fun pranks. Well, oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's true. But Assassin, really? I didn't actually catch that name back then. Ugh. Oh, because Iris doesn't know it, and it's very likely that the man was her father. Of course it's her father. Come on now. How many Professor Wilson can there be? Hmm? Oh, Atashin. I should let father know at once. Oh, yes, I agree. Prosecutor Asogi. Kazuma, isn't it? Kazuma Asogi. You say he's a friend of yours. Oh, my best friend. He's the whole reason I got to come to Britain. It was all on his merits. I have nothing but respect for him. Yes. I understand that only the very best students are selected for such opportunities. And I had a fine demonstration of how sharp he is in the proceedings earlier today. He missed nothing. In fact, his flawless performance very much reminded me of myself. Oh, sorry, of his father. Genshin Yasugi, the professor. It's true that the aristocracy at the time was the root of numerous grave societal problems. They were abusing their power, playing with the common man as pawns in politics, in economics, in war. Wait, I mean, if it's the turn of the century in Britain, because I don't really know British history that well, but having watched Enola Holmes, they're talking about a turn in British history where the common men got the right to vote. Is this... Oh, it's only been 10 years though, so maybe that's going to pass. I don't know. I don't forget the suffragettes. In many ways, Asogi was carving out a canker. A canker? From society. Oh, okay. Canker? Is it a tumor? From society that we British couldn't deal with ourselves. Oh, I see. Do you though? But that's precisely why it makes no sense. Sorry. Clint van Zieks was a noble and upstanding man. He wasn't corrupt. Why did that damn Nipponese have to go and take my brother's life? Tell me now. In spite of having once saved mine. He saved your life? How did that happen? Saving your life? It was 10 years ago, on a foggy night. Well, you won't expect any less of a British night. What has to be the professor's final strike had sent a wave of panic through the capital. Oh, so Clint van Zieks had already been killed at this point then. Genshin and I were walking down some back streets at late hour. Of course, at that point, I had no idea of the true nature of the man at my side. All of a sudden, don't make a peep. You're coming with us. We were surrounded. Oh, the sword. All of our assailants were armed with pistols, their faces obscured by scarves. Clint was not only from noble heritage, he was a brilliant prosecutor as well. The scum of London hated the sight of him, and they had no sympathy for his younger brother either. I'd been targeted several times before already. Oh yeah, it's Van Zieks alright. We've got him. I could hear them murmuring amongst themselves. I knew they were after me. But just when I thought my time had come... if I let them kill you, Clint would never forgive me. It was Asagi's voice, just a whisper in my ear. After that, I don't remember exactly what happened. The next thing I knew, there was silence all around. Genshin lay on the cobbled street. Blood was seeping from his left hand. He shielded me. Two days later, they arrested him. On suspicion of being London's most notorious mass murderer ever, the Professor. Oh, how awful for you. All at once, I let the brother I revered and the foreign friend I held in such high regard. I'm so sorry, Lord Van Zieks. That's the end of my miserable tale. I never thought I'd recount it to anyone. Thank you for confiding in me. Oh, the Professor, the Reaper, and Inspector Gregson. Oh, I wonder just how intimately related they all are. Oh, I still can't quite believe that Gregson was essentially the Reaper. Oh, giving assassination orders to Giselle Brett. Oh, Naruhodo-san, let's go and inform my father. I'm sure our government will want to hear about this new information. Oh, that means I get to meet your daddy, Susie. Hooray! Oh yes, alright. Oh, let's head back to the Great Waterloo Hotel then. Well, Barak, sorry, but we have to go. See you in a bit. 2nd of November. Great Waterloo Hotel. Foyer. Oh, I thought it yesterday, and I think it isn't getting it today. This place is so princely. Oh, it's a wild guess, but I have a feeling you'll think the same tomorrow too. Oh, my tea has a finer fragrance than whatever they're serving in the tea room here, though. Wouldn't you say? Ah, look who we have here. This is an unexpected pleasure. Oh, father. Oji-sama. Oh, it is your daddy, Susie. Oh, how lovely. Oto-sama, sorry. Oh, what a charming young lady. And you are? Oh, really? You're the author of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, are you? Oh, that's me, Iris Wilson. At your service, sir. Oh, Susie's been such a wonderful friend to me over the last year, you know? Well, Miss Wilson, I must say I read your work regularly and with much interest. Oh, Iris actually lives with Mr. Sholmes, you know, father. Oh, is that so? Well, perhaps that goes some way to explaining that bright look in your eyes. Oh, you wouldn't be smiling so early if you knew just how bright she is. Believe me. Now then, young Naruhodo, it was a pleasure seeing you in action earlier. As an invitee of the symposium, I was allowed to observe from the gallery, after I've twisted some arms. Was it literal, though? Well, I must say, it was a truly exemplary performance. You have to go? Alright. See you then. Have a good day. Thank you very much. Although, I'm fairly sure you're omitted by Kazuma on the end there. Oh, no, please don't misunderstand. It was you who impressed me. He's reading our mind. Oh, really? Oh, you didn't miss a step against Sasagi, and we all know how capable he is. Really, to have matured into such a fine defense warrior in less than a year is quite extraordinary. Oh, it's very kind of you to say so. Oh, and really nice to hear. What I saw in court today confirmed what I'd been hoping for. The favor I mentioned yesterday, Naruhodo. I trust you haven't forgotten. Oh, no, you did mention something, didn't you? Didn't you? Oh, but first, we have something to report, Father. Of course, of course. Shall we take tea while we discuss matters further? I wonder where Judge Chikuko has got to. Alright. About the Reaper. Oh, Father, do you know about the so-called Reaper of the Bailey? I've heard rumors. Some members of the judiciary explained it all to me yesterday. Of course, when I was a visiting student here in London, the Reaper was yet to emerge. Alright, he didn't appear until after that case, when the visiting students had already returned home. Lord Van Zeeks, who was in the dock today. That was Barak, the younger brother of Clint Van Zeeks, I believe. Oh, that's right. And he's known throughout London as the Reaper, as you've heard. But the truth is, it wasn't him behind all of those mysterious deaths. It was somebody else. Oh, I see. So what you're saying is, there's been a professional killer at work here. Oh, exactly. Someone by the name of Assassin, in fact. Wait, was she British or Japanese? I mean, this name. I beg your pardon? Did you say Assassin? You mean that Giselle, that woman, who was responsible for killing my great friend? Oh no! He's going to tell Iris! Oh no! A friend of yours was killed? Professor Mikotoba, I think perhaps we shouldn't discuss this right now. Oh, because the friend the professor is talking about is Dr. Jane H. Wilson. And that's not something we want Iris to find out about. Not like this anyway. Dr. Wilson's death. Are we talking about that? Okay, let's talk about that. Oh, I've just remembered something. Biscuits. This hotel has the most delicious looking biscuits. That was rather out of the blue. Oh, she's doing this deliberately. Oh, I think I'll go and see if I can purchase some. I wonder, would you like to come too, Iris? Oh yes, you just try to leave me behind. Oh. So, that young girl is called Iris Wilson, is she? Oh yes, that's right. And she's the author of all the adventure stories starring the great detective Sholmes. But the name of the credited author isn't Iris, is it? It's Dr. John H. Wilson. Yes, I know. That's the name of her father, you see. Her father? Dr. John H. Wilson. I was deeply indebted to the man for all the kindness he showed me during my time in London. That's why I was keen to reciprocate and invite him to his Imperium University 4 years ago. Oh, he was murdered last year by Giselle Brett. But why would she do that? Why? Why would the hand of the Reaper stretch all the way to Japan? Iris knows nothing about that case, but it seems very likely that the victim, Dr. Watson, was her father. Well, I can't say that we ever spoke about his family, so I don't know if he had a daughter or not. But I think I can say with some certainty that he was never the great detective's partner. So, it could have been another Dr. Wilson, you think? Well, John and Wilson are both common names after all. Still, it's probably best not to mention this to the young lady until we can be sure. Oh, that's what we thought, yes. We are back with cinnamon biscuits. They smell delicious, Iris. Oh, I think cinnamon will go very well with the tea they serve here. Don't you, Susie? Oh, yes. I'm sure you're right, Iris. Judge Jigoku. Well, I haven't seen Judge Jigoku for a while, have you? It's kinda hard to pronounce, Judge Jigoku. The judges. Judge Jigoku. Guilty! Ho 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 ho! But that guilty is still ringing in my ears. Oh no, now you mention it, I haven't seen him since this morning either. I suppose since the symposium's opening was postponed, he'll have gone to explore at the Great Exhibition. Oh, that reminds me of something you mentioned yesterday. About Judge Jigoku having once been in the dock himself. Oh yeah, it was all tied up with that accursed trial. Oh, the close trial of Kazuma's father. Seiichiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. Seiichiro. It's not Seiichiro. But he got a little carried away and actually managed to break the witness stand. Oh dear, the man is strong. Oh my. He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged. Oh dear, although it's worryingly easy to imagine him doing that. Well, it was alright in the end. He was acquitted, and we returned home to Japan together. Oh, thank goodness. Ah, yes. Talking of Seiichiro. I have a copy of the photograph we all took together here yesterday. Please. Oh. Oh, what a lovely picture. It certainly seems to shout, we've arrived in Britain. Why is a sad face? Seiichiro. The commemorative photograph has been entered into the court record. None of us had any idea what was coming when we took that, did we? Oh, no. No. That's so true. The favor. So, you mentioned a favor that you'd like to ask me? Well, this fateful trial that you're fighting, one way or another, it will be over before long. And when it is, I'd like you to accompany me back to Japan. You want me to do... What? Oh, Father, what's the meaning of this? What Dosama? Now, Susato, you should understand. You've seen how our course works firsthand. Japan's judicial system is in its infancy, especially when it comes to defense. Oh, you mean? The Supreme Court of Chichikicha is in desperate need of a good defense lawyer. As soon as possible. Really quite urgently, in fact. But I've not even been in London a year yet. I've read all of Susato's reports. I'm well aware of your extraordinary talents. And having seen you in action with my own eyes earlier today, there's no question. You, Naruhodo, are precisely the man our country needs. Oh. Nani? Oh, so you'd be leaving then, Runo? Oh, but then, what am I supposed to do, Father? You came here to serve as Asogi's judicial assistant. Oh yes. She's supposed to be Kazuma's assistant. Huh? Our government is still in the process of deciding how best to deal with his situation, though. Oh. You've always chosen your own path, Susato. And I trust your judgment in this matter also. Oh, Oto-sama. Please, the pair of you, don't look so downcast. It's merely a suggestion, you understand? A hope, if I'm honest, but I won't force you. All I ask is that you consider it and come to a decision by the time this trial concludes. Oh, yes. All right. Oh, you won't leave, will you, Runo? Oh, the thought hadn't even crossed my mind. Up until now, I've just been trying to do what I believe to be Kazuma's will. But it turns out that he's still alive, so... where does that leave me? So many questions. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I need to telegram all government ministers and the Japanese police with this information about Asa Shin. Oh, of course, Father. Thank you. I look forward to our next month's installment, Miss Wilson. Oh, good. And please, do come to Baker Street sometime, won't you? We'd love to entertain you. I would be delighted. The best of luck for tomorrow, Naruhodo. And, give my suggestion your full consideration, won't you? Oh, yes, I will. Oh, going back home? Oh dear. Oh, you know, Kazuma-sama has always meant a great deal to my father. I'm sure he'd love the chance to meet with him and talk to him about all of this. Oh yes, no doubt. Assassin. Of course. It's so obvious. How could I have neglected to consider the possibility before now? Mrs. Scholes? Honey, where have you been? Why, I joined you all for tea, of course. What an extraordinary question. I didn't notice you at all. No matter, no matter. Anyway, to more pressing concerns. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes? I must dispatch a telegram to your country at once. It is a matter of much urgency. To Japan, you mean? Tell me, to whom can I entrust the task? Quickly now, who? Oh, well... My father has just now left to send a telegram to the Imperial Police Bureau of Japan himself. I see. Well, he looked reliable enough for a bearded fellow. Wait, what? Oh, I don't think what father sports could be considered a beard, Mrs. Holmes. There's not a moment to lose. Kindly ask your trusty and shaven father to see this is sent. Oh, I will, but what is it? No questions at this time, if you please, Mr. Sato. All we can do is pray. Wait, what? That for once, my deduction is alright. Doesn't that imply that your deductions are normally correct, Mr. Shaw? Now then! You may be surprised to learn that I am a very busy man. I certainly have no time to hide behind settees and eavesdrop on other people's conversations. Oh, so that's what joining us for tea meant. I'll leave the sending of this in your hands then, my dear fellows. Oh, he vanished. Ah, wait a minute, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, he just sort of ran off, didn't he? At quite a pace. And left the unpaid bill for his tea behind too. Well, he didn't drink tea. Oh, I must catch up with father at the telegraph office at once. And I run and call a cab straight away. What? Oh, and there was me thinking everyone would be clamoring to pay Mr. Sholmes' bill. Okay, so what's the message? Oh, she took it with her. Okay. Where do I go now? Prison, Fresno Street, Mr. Fitch's hospital bed. Okay, let's go. Second of November, Cincinnati's Hospital, Ward 3. Oh, this is the ward where Mr. Fisher was brought, apparently. Oh, to be frank, I'm a little worried about seeing him again. Oh, the lawyer. Hello again. Oh, are you feeling better now, Mr. Fitchell? Oh, yes. Thank you. Somewhat better. I'm sorry to have caused you to, it was because of me. If I hadn't exposed your secrets and forced you to remember things you'd obviously try to forget, oh. Oh, the prosecutor was here until a few moments ago too. Oh, you just missed him. Oh, Kazuma beat us to it. Oh, he said much the same as you. He was very apologetic. Oh, but the truth is, I brought all of this upon myself. Oh, please, don't think like that. Oh, keeping it from Evie, my wife, all these years, I've carried such a sense of guilt. But that's not the worst of it. Over time, I obviously came to deceive myself as well. Oh, you mean about dismissal? Oh, looking back now, I'm beginning to think that perhaps Inspector Gregson didn't stumble across me by accident at all. I mean, he compensated me so generously for acting as his stand-in. He was clearly concerned for my well-being and doing what he could to help. So, perhaps Gregson knew exactly what had become of Mr. Fitchett all along then. Oh, I'm sure this is just dessert for 10 years of lie and deception, but... Oh, it wasn't me that helped the professor escape 10 years ago. Oh, it wasn't me. I swear it. I swear it's true. Oh, Mr. Fitchell. I'm sure you'd rather not to dredge up even more from your past at this time, but if possible, could you tell us exactly what really happened? Oh, the neck. Oh, I want to. I need to get all this off my chest. I want someone to tell me what I should have done. Really? Gregson's request. Oh, Inspector Gregson was obviously engaged in a special operation of some sort. He was investigating something that even Scotland Yard couldn't know about. Oh, details of the Reaper's marks, yes. Oh, it was when we had to carry out those investigations. I would take his identification and impersonate him. Oh, you'd pretend to be the inspector and carry out investigation on his behalf? Oh, no, never. A common street peddler couldn't possibly carry out a proper police investigation. All I would do is go to the specified location and make a little hoo-ha. Just something to leave an impression, so everyone there would think, oh, a detective called Gregson was here. Oh, so that's what you were doing on the day prior to the incident? Oh, yes. Oh, he asked me to make an appearance at the park on Live Street for the Red-Headed League event. So as usual, I flashed the inspector's certification around and was very vocal about my presence. Oh, but then you were taken prisoner by those red-headed feral fraudsters. Oh yes. So, you would always make a point of showing Gregson's identification and generally being loud? Oh, that's what the inspector asked me to do, yes. Oh, well, that's one way of becoming a legendary detective, I suppose. Not a good one, though. Oh, and as you know, I suffered this bruising around my neck at their hands. But the following day, they kept their word and released me. Without returning the inspector's identification to you, however. Oh, we had arranged to meet in the Fresno Street room at 5 that day, so I could report back to the inspector. But at the agreed time, that's when I heard the gunshot. Oh dear. Oh, sorry. Oh, it was at midnight on 17th June 10 years ago. That was the time scheduled for the execution. Oh, but the professor's execution never actually took place, did it? Oh, rather, the execution itself must have been used to effect the plan of escape. Oh, I hardly dare to imagine what a chilling plan it was. Oh, Berkeley was renowned for being the highest security prison in the country. Everything that went in or out of the place was searched multiple times. But there was one notable exception. Or rather, one notable loophole. Something that was never questioned. I have a feeling I know what that loophole was now. The coffins into which the bodies of the executed convicts were placed, correct? Yes. Once the coroner had confirmed the death of a condemned convict, the body was taken in his coffin for immediate burial in Nogate Cemetery, just behind the prison. Oh, new theory. Well, old theory, but I've been wondering, because Dr. Scythe's daughter was acting so strange. And I've been wondering, is she the daughter of the professor? But he didn't seem to be crazy, this guy, so I don't know. Well, he didn't seem to have any mental issues. And she seems to be a bit weird, let's just say. Oh, the chief warders first had to sign the necessary papers. And after that, no member of staff was permitted to touch the coffin containing the body again. Oh, when executions took place, only the executioner and the coroner were permitted inside the chamber. I would wait in the adjacent room for word that the condemned convict was dead. But who was the executioner? That's gonna be a big reveal. I would wait in the adjacent room for word that the condemned convict was dead. On that occasion, once I had that confirmation, I went into the mortuary to find a lone coffin, as usual. The procedure was that I would sign the paperwork, having checked the coffin, then nail it shut. But for some reason that day, the coffin was already nailed shut. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't think anything of it at the time. I assumed that my deputy must have checked the coffin and nailed it shut before I arrived. So you mean the coffin contained? Yes, I can only imagine that Asogi, having escaped his execution somehow, was alive inside the coffin. The coffin was then taken out through the main gates and deposited in Nogate Cemetery. Oh, presumably there wouldn't have been enough air inside to breathe for long. So, in the early hours following the burial, somebody dug out the coffin again to set Genshin free. Oh, but in the end, he was fatally shot in the graveyard anyway. What on earth really happened in Nogate Cemetery that night, I wonder? Oh, I'm afraid I really don't know. All I can say with certainty are two things. Asogi couldn't possibly have escaped that way without help from somebody working in the prison. And that somebody was not me. Alright. The convict, Asogi. Oh, obviously, you knew the man then. You knew the man. The professor, I mean. Genshin Asogi. Oh yes, I remember him well, in fact. Oh, would you mind telling us what you know? Oh well, having been condemned to death as he was, any contact I had with the man was short, obviously. After that trial, which was carried out behind closed doors, attended only by elite members of the judiciary, they called for his execution to be carried out at the earliest possible opportunity. Oh, the outcome of the trial was set from the beginning, wasn't it? Oh, it was a time of delicate diplomacy when Britain and Japan were in the process of signing an important treaty. Oh, that meant that this potentially destabilizing case had to be dealt with swiftly and discreetly. Oh, had to be dealt with swiftly and discreetly. Alright. Oh, the man had less than a week in total. As I was the chief warder, I ever saw his short stay in the cells until his final hour. I remember being struck deeply by his noble character and his incredible resilience. What do you mean exactly? I was a killer of many men, but he was always quiet and polite. He was a gentleman and a man of intellect. Oh, in fact, I couldn't bring myself to believe that he'd done what he'd done, so I asked him one day. Oh. Lord. Oh, that cell looks awfully like the prison we know. It's the same one. Oh, those 5 members of the aristocracy whose lives were taken. Were you really responsible? I'm guilty of the unforgivable crime of ending another human's life. Yes. The following day, the closed trial took place, and the verdict was no surprise. Guilty. Oh, that night, when he was brought back to his cell, I saw something unusual. Something unusual? What? The last will and testament of Genshin Asogi. What? Asogi's will? As I said, it was on the night following his trial, after he'd been found guilty. I was doing the rounds of the cells, and when I looked into Asogi's, I noticed that he seemed to have a sheet of paper in his hand. Oh! Why his last will and testament then, presumably. Well, as soon as he noticed me, he hurriedly shoved it behind his back. Oh, but why did you find that so unusual? Isn't it normal for a man to pen a will when he knows his death is nigh? Oh yes, that's true. But there were special conditions to Asogi's incarceration, you see. Asogi's... What sort of conditions? Well, even though he was held in a cell designed for condemned inmates, he was allowed to keep his personal effects with him. With one exception. Really? He was allowed his things? Well, that is unusual, certainly. Of course, he'd been convicted of killing 5 members of the aristocracy. But at the same time, he was a guest in our country from the Empire of Japan. The powers that be were determined that his final days should be needlessly uncomfortable. Oh, and what was the exception you mentioned? To the personal effects he was allowed? Well, that's the point. He wasn't permitted to have writing materials. Specifically, no pens or paper. Also, he was prevented from leaving any written record of what had happened to him. Yes, that was the long and the short of it. I have no idea what he obtained that paper. And writing materials would have been confiscated from him upon his incarceration. As I said, he hid the paper behind his back, and then he pleaded with me. Ooh, I'm so tired. Oh, why did you just hide behind your back? Please, turn a blind eye. This is my lifeline. HSA. Oh, but you know it's against the rules. You're the only person who's seen. You should just agree to keep quiet. Alright then, but what's in that paper? A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now. What? How can a will be a weapon? Also, I decided to pretend I'd seen nothing, and I'll let him keep his will. But then later, it just seemed to vanish without trace. What? What do you mean, it vanished? Oh, it would seem that isn't the end of the story of this mysterious will. The will's disappearance. Oh, I was the only person who saw Asogi's will, but somehow it disappeared. Oh, well, it was after Asogi's execution. Oh, which was actually an elaborate jailbreak. The warders gathered up Asagi's possessions that were in his cell. They were all to be sent back to his family home in Japan. You see? Oh, to poor Kazuma-sama. And you're saying that it wasn't anywhere to be found among his personal effects? The will, I mean. Oh, that's right. Though I didn't search through them myself. But Governor Caden was livid. He was screaming. It could have disappeared completely. Oh, that doesn't quite make sense though, does it? In what way? Well, we'd understood that only Mr. Fitcher was aware of the will's existence. In which case, how did the prison governor know to look for it? Oh yes, you're right. Oh, we don't know how he knew. But it certainly seemed as though he knew of the will's existence from the outset. Only he didn't refer to it as a will. What he said was, the Asogi Papers. Wait, what? The Asogi Papers? Revelation about financial, crimes? No, maybe not crimes, but financial, I don't know. I don't know how to qualify that, but that's not good. Alright. Asogi Papers. Asogi Papers. Alright. Yes, the Asogi Papers? Asogi? Oh, I really can't tell you anything of the subsequent events. Because, well, of what happened. Or your dismissal. And the way you blocked it all from your memory. Oh, I'd forgotten all this until today. I don't suppose it's relevant to the case, though. Well, anyway, thank you very much for sharing it with us, Mr. Vigil. We are very grateful. Oh, I'm afraid there's really little more I can tell you. My wife Evie will be here shortly, so I do hope I don't appear rude, but... No, not at all. Thank you again. Oh, but what will become of you now? Oh well, impersonating a police officer is a criminal offense. Of course. I imagine that once I'm fully recovered, I shall be arrested. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, don't be, please. This was all my undoing. I always knew that this day would come. Well, I wish you well. Goodbye, Mr. Vigil. Oh, before you go. Oh, there's just one thing. What? Yes? What is it? Oh, the Asogi Papers. What about it? I'd be very grateful if you'd make no mention of the things I told you about them. Presumably for some good reason? I mean, you already lost your job. It's my understanding that their very existence is a close recorded secret. Wait, what? If it became known that I remembered... Well... It could be rather troublesome, I think. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I understand. Some sort of will that Kenshin Asogi penned just before his death? Which the man himself claimed was his last weapon? I wonder. Perhaps it has something to do with his plan to escape. If there's anyone who might know more about the document that Kazuma's father left behind, it would be Mr. Fitch's governor. Oh, then we know precisely where we must go. Back to Barclay Prison. Alright then, but I'm gonna have to stop here for tonight. Sadly, I'm way too tired to continue. Oh dear. This case goes deep, so deep. Oh dear. It's gonna cause us trouble, I'm sure. Anyway, the plot thickens. This is all very weird. But we know soon. Well, thanks for being with me tonight. I'm gonna get back to that tomorrow night. So, in the meantime, please take care and stay safe. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.